Hello and welcome to Borgerat's RC Tips. Today I'm going to show you how to put the light module on your brushless setup. So on this one I did a custom lights all around. I wanted to put more white bluish lights. I canceled the blinkers I didn't want because usually the blinkers on Toyota's Land Cruiser are supposed to be there, not there. So I put two lights. I tinted the lens because I wanted to resemble a truck I showed you earlier. I already removed the screws because we're gonna look under. And at the back, same thing. I put, when the lights are on, the red light, and when I go back, I put, since the whole lens is tinted, it turns out a little bit orange, but more white because I want the backup lights. And on the top, I put warm white lights like they are in the light bar. This one was a Patriot, so it didn't have lights, but usually you already have your lights, so there's no problem there. So that's about it. I put on Velcro this module. I have another one. So if I put on the right side, will it focus? Is it clear enough? I think you can see it there. Okay. And to have that, you need this receiver, and if you have the Batrazi kit, is the same thing, only rebranded. So it's the R4P1-BS. And on these, the channel 4, which is this one, the last one on this side, doesn't operate a servo, but send a pulse signal to operate the light module here. So I know that Fair RC sells kits that are already prepared with the good connectors, but they are out of stock. Well, I'm in Canada and they show out of stock. Maybe they're stuck if you're in the US, I don't know, but you can do them at home, and I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so for that I'm going to do a little quick class on how to solder, because a lot of things that I hear is I want something already made, I don't want to solder, and you're gonna save maybe not that much time but some money. You can buy 3mm LED 5V. I have orange, I have yellow, I have red, I have warm white, and somewhere I don't know where I put them because I finished my project and my bench is a mess. I have white, which are the white bluish that you saw. So how it runs, how it works, I'm going to remove that wire that sends the signal. I'm going to turn it off first just to be sure. I'm going to put it on this one. And before I show you what these do, what I did here, I ran the wires, and you can see there's maybe some sort of black gooish stuff. What it is, it's a brush-on electrical tape. And what it does, it's an amazing job. It blocks. Do I have a stock one? Yeah, the red one here. Because you see, oh, don't get dizzy. You see the clips and you see the light glowing at the back. So when you use this, it blocks, and with the white body, when the lights are on, you could see all the plastic getting pale, and it wasn't that pretty. I didn't put at the back, and you can see some red here, so I'm gonna do that later on. I did put some, maybe there's not. Oh no, I put there, but I forgot to put it here. I'm gonna show you. It's a big brush for bigger jobs. What do? I take one of my screwdrivers, tip it in, I roll it, and I apply. So even if you remove the original lead because you want other colors and you break a tab, you can always put that. It's gonna stiffen, it's gonna stay there pretty nice, and it's gonna block unwanted lights at the back of the LED bulb. So that's good. It's pretty messy, but when it's when it's dry, it removes like electrical tape. So you try not to get some on your fingers, but with the camera, so I'm gonna let this one dry. I'm gonna use another one for this video if I need another one. I'm gonna let that dry. Gonna wipe my finger. So that's for the tip with the brush on electrical tape, and remember to close it very well so it won't dry and you'll be able to use it for a long time. Okay, so that's about it. I'm gonna fish for some. I have a LED light with connectors on. So I found what I needed. Here are the whites, and I got what you need to connect your lights are DuPont connectors 2.54 millimeter. I have a wire. You can buy them already with the wires, or you can do your own with the connectors. I'm going to show you how to do them too. So if you want to attach it to, let's say, we'll take, I don't have any, some yellow. We'll do our test with yellow light. Okay, I'm going to toss them apart, and I'm going to use wire strippers because they're easier to operate. So just remove some wire, can twist it. Usually I like to make them the same length, so yeah, it makes cleaner jobs. So same thing on the LED side. These are a little too big, by the way, but I had them handy. I'm gonna just chop it and do it again. A good length. Bit more here. Right. When they're very small, they're hard to twist. Sometimes they don't twist very well. You can keep them in your finger and turn the wire. And when they're that small, because when you have a bigger wire nearby, I'm going to show you later maybe. But usually what I like to do is twist the wires. And before that, this is a little too big, but before that, what I do is I take heat shrink tubing. So you have to put them before. Don't forget, because when it's all solder, you won't be able to put it. You can put electrical tape, which is bulky for these rigs, or the brush on electrical tape, but it doesn't do a job as clean. So with those small wires, I could have put them before skinning them. It would have been easier. But you get the gist. I'm gonna solder them. Like I said, with bigger wires, I like to, intertwine the wires like that. But those are so small, I only tack them. It's strong enough. And the first thing you need to check when you solder is a good quality solder. This one is Kester brand and is SN63 PB37. So and you have rows in the middle, so it makes nasty fumes, so don't breathe them. Make yourself a good ventilation system. You can use a computer fan with a charcoal filter, or just a duct that carries the air elsewhere. I don't have one here. Well, I have one, but I don't want to have too much noise, so I'm just gonna not breathe when I soldered on this one. It's mixed up, but a good quality solder. I have a semi-good soldering iron I got off AliExpress. I like AliExpress. I have cheap stuff there. So this one eats up pretty quick, but if you have a crayon that sits there for a while until it reaches temperature, it works just as fine. It's the quality of the solder that's going to make good quality welds. I'm going to use those little, usually I use my hands, but I'm going to use my hands too, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put the little alligator clip here. I'm going to zoom, maybe like that, you'll see better. So first thing first, if I go like that, you will see what I do with the tip. Always keep the tip clean and some solder on it. Always, always. That's a breathing. Okay, I'm gonna put it back so you'll see what I do. Never put the solder on your iron. Put the iron at the bottom of your wire and wait until it melts. It would make a good quality solder with enough heat. See how it's all shiny? It's all penetrating in. Same thing for the top one. There we go. And same thing for these tiny wires, because these lead wires don't draw that much current, so they come with very thin wires. So see there's a little gunk, but because the tip wasn't clean enough, but it will connect just as good. No worries there. I'll do the negative. And these lead come pre-wired, and the positive always have a resistor. You can see under the heat shrink. So the resistor is different regarding the voltage you order. So I ordered 5 volts. They're bright enough. They're good for the BEC, because you can see there on the speed controller, the BEC is 5 volt. So they're matching good, and like I said, because they're very small, and since they're solder on both, I'm just gonna touch the iron, and it's gonna be strong enough. But with bigger wires, even if you do your full-size trailer wires, you can always twist them. Put heat shrink tubing. You can also have some glue liner shrink tubing, which will seal them from moisture. But you don't have to do that on your RC car as well. I don't think so. I'm just gonna put it like that because I'm stuck between the camera mount and just gonna touch both of them. Gotta melt together. Okay, so that's a very quick tip how to solder. Remember, good quality solder is the secret, and you can use some extra flux. I'm going to show you that later on another video. If you want to weld on small MOSFET on boards or ESC, something like that, you can modify them. It's doable even with a cheap soldering iron. I'm going to turn it off, put it wide angle so you'll see. I'm not going to use heat to to shrink them because I'm gonna remove it later because it's not a wire I want to use, and I think even I've used, because those wires are too big, I use too small. Maybe this one is solder better. Yeah, there we go. Because this one have a little bump. Maybe I can melt it. But even I only need one covered. I only need one covered because I just don't want it to short. It's not a permanent insulation. I'm gonna re-weld it very quick. Sorry for that. I keep getting my camera mount there. Solid enough. Okay. There we go. Keep it like that so it will work. Okay. So the remote is there. I already disconnected, but it's going to be easier to show you if I connect it, just to see the cycles of the lights, the possibilities we have. Connect it. And power the remote first. Okay. And to be able to do a good job, I'm going to take a paper here and a pen. We're going to count the clicks together. So 0, nothing. So you got, let's say, off. Then you got, let's say, mode 1, mode 2, and off. So only 2 modes, 2 options. Because if I click, it's back again. So mode 1, mode 2, and off. Okay. Turn it up just to be safe. We're going to take this one. It's going to be clearer to see. Take that. I'm going to power it through the truck and put it on Velcro. So there we go. Okay, so with our tiny LED, remove that body. I'm going to, if I zoom it like that. Oh yeah, that'll be good. So here we have the first port. Can you see it? If I zoom it more, I'm going to pause it. Oh, there we are. So we have, the first is back 6, brake 5, head 4, DRL, I think it's driving lights 3, and that's for the indicators, the right, and left. So 2 and 1. And then, as you can see here, there's the positive and the negative. So that's what we have here, positive and negative. Okay, so we're still on, not the car. I'm going to power the car, and we're going to plug positive on the positive side, and we have brake. So if I use, I'm going to just, you saw it, I'm going to zoom back a little bit, and maybe I'm going to put some, I have 2 of these. So I'm going to put the car on the tire stand so it won't run off. So the first one, if I go, yeah, there we go, forward, nothing, brake, nothing. First mode, we run, and back. So the backup light work on the first mode, and so it works on both modes. So for an unknown reason, because it only go forward and reverse, brake doesn't work at all. So on whatever mode we're on, we have not the brake option, but if we change the, you don't see it, eh? If we change the ESC or maybe some programming, I don't know which company makes them. I'm gonna investigate and see if there's not a programming card of some sort, but for crawling we like front and back no brake, so no problem there. Next, head. So number 4, head. Okay, so first mode, so head works on first. Second, no. So only on first. So no there. Driving lights. So you saw. So off, mode 1, mode 2, off. So we have there, and the indicators. That's the, so mode 1, mode 2. So the indicators, you can't turn them off. So they're always on, even on the off mode. So there it is. So that's what you need to know about the controller paired with that ESC that send the electric signal, the pulse something. So that's what you need to know. And to connect the LED, you can make, if you don't want to, so there I have an original LC80 body unmodified. If you want to use the same connectors, you don't want to cut them, and you can do your own connectors too. What you need to buy is those JST plugs. So I didn't order well, is it female or male? I don't know, because if you look at the pin or the housing, but I didn't order the reverse. But you can, and I have the 3-pin one. I have both versions. So it's JST 1.25 millimeters. So that's what you need to know about the lights. So first thing you want to do, they don't come in order. The colors are not in order. The good order is this one. If you look at the connector at the top, it's yellow, which is the signal. Center is red, and the last one is black. So if I take this one, let's say, so they're all in the wrong order. What you can use, little X-Acto knife, take one wire at a time, take your knife under that little tab, pull. Will it do it more focus there, maybe? So knife, I'm trying to do it looking at the camera. I feel like a surgeon that operates with robots. Okay, so we say the red one goes in the middle. There we go. And if we look at our demonstrator, we put the yellow one, the left, and black one, the right. I'll tuck in there. You can push a little more on these holders and toss that apart. So same thing for these, but they're going to connect like that. So these, you remove them at the bottom, same principle. The red, black, and the yellow. So like we said, red in the middle, I'm going to push back a little bit on these little plastic. There we go. And if you're not sure, connect your model or align it. So now the yellow is going to be that side. And you can leave them there and make your extension matching the wires, but I find it more difficult when you want to plug it at the right place. Let's take that. I'm going to take that big smasher here. See, when you want to connect them and they're not at the right place, so now you know that the ground is at the same place as the other. Even like this one, I already made an extension. I'm going to back off a bit. We're going to do the same extension at this one as this one together. So when you need an extension to turn your rig 4-wheel steer, we'll have it. Okay, so I find them a little too long, so usually I cut maybe a third of these, but you'll have to figure it out. Toss that apart so we'll have it clear. And as usual, skin them almost the same length. I didn't turn the car off. Okay. Same length. Come on. Ah, there was a little. The rest of the little piece there. Come on. So the cleanest was for the signal is going to be more than enough. No worries there. Gently twist. Okay. This time I'm going to do different. I'm going to put the solder in the alligator clip, clean the tip of the soldering iron, put some solder on it, and I'm going to center it more. It's going to be better. We'll see enough. So solder on top, soldering iron. There we go. Gonna do all three, then the other three. Don't breathe in those nasty fumes. Same thing here. I'm not an expert at soldering, but with the right solder, it goes very nice. Make clean solder, any size. if you have a strong enough iron, but if you do only small wiring, take the lowest setting because you won't burn your little wires. Okay, so same thing. Gotta take those tiny shrink tubing, have a bunch. Gotta take the correct colors. Extra yellow I don't need. Fish them on one side. So these are so small, I think I wouldn't do the connectors. I buy them with wires, but the bigger one, the DuPont, the connectors are doable. Okay, so they have enough solder on both ends, and since they're small wires, I don't have to put more solder. Keep the same side, keep it clean. Same thing here. This one is not as good as I thought. Put a little more heat on this one. They're tiny, sometimes we move it. Alright, they all seem nice. So watch for these little pointy reservoirs. Sometimes just grab them and make them flat so they won't catch on the shrink tubing and won't perforate it. So center one. Regarding the others, push them back. And the safest way to shrink them is with a heat gun. Mine is in the shop, so I'm going to use a lighter, but don't stay long at the same place because you got to burn your wires. But only need a little heat, and there you go. Homemade servo wire extension. So that's it. That's it for that. I'm going to turn off the soldering iron. Clean. So you can also do that same process. If you want to do a little DuPont 2.54 millimeter DuPont, so you have both male and female, you're gonna have two connectors, and I ordered this kit it was not for those connectors, but it works with all those crimping connectors. It was for an e-bike, but you can see, I'm gonna zoom. Can you see all the sizes? And that's what I have here. And the brand is, this one is an Amazon brand, so you can have probably better tools, but for what it does, it's doing a great job. So I'm going to back off a little. There we go. So it's tiny. So these work on the second one. You put it there and it will catch. And since they're ratcheting, it holds. I don't want to scrap a perfectly good connector. I'm gonna look for wire do I have? So I found some wires. So let's get back to it. So when you, there we go. So when you do these, you don't have to strip that much, only that. Take your ratcheting plier that usually hold very well the connector, but since I dropped it, it didn't hold. See, it holds. Put it in there. See, like in the original one. My wire is a little big, so it's hard to fish in. Usually, yeah. My wire is a tad big for the application. Slip the tab in, push it forward. There we go. Right at the spot. I'll do the same thing for the positive, because I don't want to do a half job. I might use that connector on another project. Like I said, only skin the tiny, not more than that. Put it in there. Crimp it full, release. And there again. Perfect connection. That grips well, connects well. This one went in, but not full. Didn't clip. There it is. So you have a connector, and you can also use the end of the light if the wire is long enough and you don't want to solder anything. You can do the same thing, a connector like that. So a lot of possibilities. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was not a messy one, but a lot of details and a lot of things, a lot of parts everywhere. But I hope you enjoy. I hope it helps. If you need more tips or you have questions, please feel free to contact me. Put a comment below, and I'll be glad to answer you. So happy RCing. Have fun.